Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Hat Chat podcast, episode lucky number 113.
Oh, no, the cursed one.
And that strange voice you hear is actually a special guest.
Oh, my goodness.
But first, we'll introduce us, in case you're new here. I'm Chris Trott.
I'm Ross Hornby.
I'm Alex Smith, and as a trio, we are joined by a fourth person at the table. Who are you?
It's me, your boy, Tom. Tom Clark, I guess.
Tom Clark, I guess.
Imagine it's audio
imagine no one
now
knows
describe
who you
your
are.
face.
Okay, like imagine, you know, like a tramp who's doing a little bit all right for himself now,
Okay.
but
Got a hoodie now.
has rested on his laurels, and so it's kind of falling apart again.
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. So what do you do?
What's your thing?
Similar.
Well, what do you do?
Similar description.
Similar, you know, just hang around, drink cheap bottles of cider,
Nice. Yeah.
just
Fair.
shout at pedestrians.
Tom was famously in a video of ours that we were watching the other day called Coke Fiend. Do you remember that when you were the...
Do remember that? Yeah.
your top
Found a
hat?
mattress outside.
Which was great. I didn't even know I was in that video because you just started filming me.
Yeah, it was
just
more
in my
of a
natural
fly on
habitat.
the
Of course, yeah, it was. We caught him
and
said, "This is a great kind of bit of wildlife. We'll work with this
this character.
and just get rolling." And then we jumped into action. It was all improvised. Great work.
I failed to realise from that whole video, Ross reminded me, it was literally just a video for promoting EGX.
Yeah,
It was just an
whole thing
EGX promotion.
was just to say
whole
that you
thing.
guys were at EGX.
That's it.
Because you stole the ticket from one of us, and then we were like, "Oh, that's a ticket to EGX! Oh my god, that's amazing!"
That's the thing to celebrate or something like that.
Yeah, what a thing to celebrate.
Yeah,
It's
There's
just
so
like,
much effort into that. It's a convention.
but this is the thing. A lot of comments were just like, "Oh, why do they always put all the effort into just
that?
promoting like these
Yeah.
kind of little conventions and stuff?" And
I don't think
know.
thanked you for your...
Yeah, well, you must have done.
Well, thank you guys. You know,
We gave him a
because of
Coke.
that,
I felt like that was the real start of your career.
it was. Did that happen before or after when we went to The Witcher?
That was after.
That was after, because the Witcher thing was 2014.
The Witcher. Yeah, whenever Witcher 3 had its like
It was
launch
2015.
Yeah.
at Stirling Castle.
As someone showed me a clip of that.
Yeah.
Of you guys very
The
drunk,
singing in the bathroom,
singing,
waking up the neighbours on a business like.
just before the neighbour came and shouted at us. Because
Shut
you guys
up.
were far too loud.
It was so loud.
You keep saying you guys. I'm pretty sure you were also...
He was laughing.
I was your cameraman who was very professional. And
You threw up in the corner.
that
was a different time.
That was a different time.
That was the night before, I think.
No, that
wasn't in Scotland.
in the Modern Warfare Gamescom.
Game bus.
The cod bus.
Where we did the Call of Duty bus.
fucking
My God,
bus.
the worst thing in the world. And it was there that I threw up, not only in the corner, but in Smith's open suitcase. Which was not one of my proudest moments.
I remember the day after you were like, "Oh, just keep that bitch dumb. Just don't let the other guys know, because that's not very good. Is it? That's not a good look." It's like,
Not a good look.
what about your clothes?
Oh, fuck me. I think it was a fairly empty suitcase.
Oh, okay.
So
So
basically,
just-
he'd thrown up into
You
the
had to put
corner
your
of the
shit
room,
into it.
and some of it had trickled down the wall, but some of it had splashed back into my open suitcase. It was like unfolded, but I think the vast majority of it was empty at the time. So I was just like, "Oh, there's a little bit sick in here," and that was about it.
It's Gamescom. What a time though, Gamescom.
Wow.
So that's
good.
Tom.
That's me. I feel like that gives you a great snapshot of me as a human being.
Yeah.
But you've been with Yogs probably way longer
Way
than
longer
us.
before us, yeah.
Yeah.
The Shadow of
Pre-us.
Israphel days.
Yeah, like so. I think it's literally. I don't know the exact date because I can't find an email, but.
And that's how the only way to track time.
But so it's I want to know exactly when I started working at the Yogs because it's
Back payments.
almost 10 years now.
Back payments.
Like
You haven't
in
charged
this month, I
I
think
see.
is actually going to be 10 years. That
10 years of service. Are you still working at Yogs? Not really.
no, I haven't worked for them.
No, you're not. Like, I didn't know whether
years
you were.
now.
He's
Yeah.
full content creator.
So you've separated and
Yeah, you
Turn
know,
into
Not
your own
separated,
thing.
you just become your own.
yeah, now
Spawned
my
off.
own
Upgraded.
my own business, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm more like you guys.
Yeah.
I feel like you took your time with it. You could have done that a long time ago.
You see, I never wanted to do it.
You didn't want to.
It just that was never my plan. You know, I think like some people kind of want to join the company to get into making content,
Yeah.
but it was never the idea. I wanted to like make content, but you know, produce it.
Right. Okay, yeah.
That was the idea.
Not necessarily be in front of the camera.
Yeah, for sure. But it just turned out I was just so naturally charismatic and funny.
Look, it called you.
Literally everyone around you's like, Tom, why aren't you?
You have to do it. You have to save us.
Like the original Lewis Simon, you have to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, Tom,
Gotta make that happen. But where are those people now? Where are those views now?
Where are
What
they?
the heck?
Where did you go?
What the heck? What the heck?
Sorry, are we not allowed to swear on
No,
this?
you can. It's just quite funny to hear what the heck.
Say shit and bugger.
Shit and bugger.
you can say
We
fuck
often
if you
talk about
want to.
buggering recently. We've been talking about how quite like a
Well, just as a term, you don't.
It's
Let's
quite-
go for a light bugger. You don't. It's not a friendly.
Yeah.
Let's go for a bugger.
and the fact we
It's
use
like you're getting
little
buggered,
bugger.
mate. Like it's not.
A little bugger, yeah.
But I mean, I think it's partly because we've been doing a D&D thing recently that has like the Age of Sail in it,
Nice.
and
okay.
so buggery I think was a thing that was frowned upon in that time.
Yeah, but it's a bit like
when-
prison rules.
is it-
This is the thing, right?
nowadays,
It is like prison
Buggery.
rules.
it's totally fine.
Well, no, I'm saying that
Like, especially mass buggery.
Mass
it's just
bugger.
funny that there was a term, and also like often ships' rules be like, refrain from buggery. You're at sea for
Stop
months.
buggering!
Guys, we need to put the sails up. Please stop buggering.
Buggering on the road!
What the hell?
Exactly. And it's just
separate you with an
absurd that
oar.
a whole term had to evolve to like describe the act as if it's like like shaving.
Yeah.
Like buggering. They're buggering. Yeah, the what?
Okay.
They are
Why is the crow's nest shaking?
Not the top.
Stop
Okay.
buggering in the cannons!
So if you're going to have a little bit of buggery on a like an Age of Sail boat, where would be your chosen place to do it?
What on the boat?
What's our
Yeah,
average?
you're at sea.
What kind of boat? What kind of...
At the front of the ship.
We'll call it, imagine it's sort of like
you're gonna do it, you do it at
a
the front.
74-gun ship of the line.
Yeah, big one.
Shit, so
Like a second rate.
cargo. Like with
Cargo
the animals.
Doing it in the
Okay, with the animals.
prison sex in the bottom. In
the brig.
In the brig.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Being-
that's
you're
kinda
being
sexy.
That's a real
Right,
kink.
Get a bit like
Or right at the
S&M
front.
buggery.
I'd want to go in the central deck,
Yeah.
right at the front, minimal people looking, just to hide my shame. I want like a dark
okay.
area at the middle deck of the
Right.
ship.
Do you want to be over the edge so you can look out to sea? I'm guessing you're.
Maybe I'll
you're-
stick my head.
I'm guessing you're the bottom,
Wow.
looking out to sea. Just
Stick my head
eyes
out.
wide. I'm
Stick my
being buggered.
out of a cannon porthole.
Oh, okay.
That's nice.
It's
Get fresh
clean.
air as well.
Why have you got a suggestion? You crow's nest.
Well, I was just wondering, as you mentioned Crow's Nest, like
Sounds pretty epic.
that does sound. The view would be amazing.
Are you scared of heights?
You'd also be very...
A little, maybe.
Be the beacon of the ship, wouldn't you?
Yeah, as other ships are like, looking through the telescope at you, and they just see me
Looking
up
for the
there
flag.
waving, like, "Hi guys,
Sending a message.
it's
pirate
me and
flag.
Gerald."
Why is that crow's nest shaking back and forth so violently?
The sails are just like like rippling and snapping.
God.
They're hitting turbulence. What's going on there?
It's a dirty wind.
Oh no, that's what you'd call it, the dirty wind,
the
when someone's up there just going to it.
So I appreciate you giving us a hypothetical question there.
Wow,
because that
yeah.
leads us perfectly into our Patreon-supported
Nice.
We have a patron, do you know that?
hypotheticals. I give them
do?
3
Yeah.
questions every week. They vote for the best one. So what is the best one?
Do you want me to answer?
Number one.
Is that number one? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Actually,
I always feel like you're
saying
tripping
that-
me up to go onto the website and then find out.
The first time ever, they all have 33% votes.
What?
So all 3
All
of them
are
are equally
best.
best at the time of me looking at it, at least.
Wait,
What the hell? So which one? So that is
Just
okay.
following 3 votes.
shouldn't one be on 34? Right.
Patreon rounds
Wow.
down.
Jesus
Yeah, I
Christ.
know.
Okay.
Because they're the 1%.
with their cuts.
They're the 1%,
Nice. Yeah, stick it to the man. Eat the rich.
Yeah. But what if I get rich?
Oh.
Don't eat me.
Now I'm rich, so I ate the other rich, and the cycle continues.
Wow.
No,
it's all right.
episode,
It's
hypothetical
not
number 1.
in the Age of Sail, I will say. None of these are based in
no.
the Age of Sail
Okay.
or involve buggering.
Oh, do they not?
afraid.
I guess they could do.
We've misled you there.
They could do.
Okay, yeah,
Depends
you
on how
kind
you
of
want
fluffed me in the wrong direction.
Depends on how you answer them, I guess.
I'll do my best to try and crowbar in both the
alright.
Age of Sail and buggery into any of these hypotheticals.
Okay.
Please do.
That's going to be my own personal mission.
Wonderful.
Right, the first one is you have a set of magic alphabet blocks. When you spell an English concrete noun with the blocks, the used blocks disappear. and the spelled noun appears. When you spell an adjective, you become that adjective, and the used blocks disappear. You only have one of each letter.
Oh, this sounds complicated.
That is really.
I zoned out just reading it.
Is this some kind of intervention because of my borderline dyslexia?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm back in school.
Yeah, I've done some deep research.
God, yeah.
Where did you find these?
I'm trying to bring out some trauma.
Wait, so we have to work out the best words to spell using
'Cause you only get one use of each
finite
letter.
number of letters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit too much like countdown for me.
Too much like countdown.
Yeah.
What, in your head?
Yeah, I can't picture things in my
Are
head.
you vetoing the hypothetical?
I'm going to veto that
He's
one.
vetoing it.
Well, there's two others with equal votes.
Oh shit,
So
this is true.
I put come.
Read all three.
You put come.
Come.
It's one from each
That's the
part
answer.
of the, like,
Come is the
middle,
answer.
Like start of the alphabet, middle-ish, kind of near the end.
So wait, if you spell
It
these
manifests.
words, they appear.
The blocks disappear, the thing manifests.
Right, okay.
So you could be like lion. Wow. You got
Why would you
lion.
want a lion, though?
But then Lion is gone.
Somebody suggested boat sex, so you get a boat.
Boat sex.
Boat sex.
Nice.
Age of sail. We did it.
Okay.
Boat sex.
Is that a boat that's going to have sex with you? Or
You can't.
I think it's unlikely that would be the first version of boat it would go for. An anthropomorphic boat.
sexy boat.
who knows? You know, people are perverts these
They
days.
might start with just boat.
Just boat.
It carries you across water. Well, does it have sex with me? No.
But I did say, well, what if you said sexy boat?
Boat that fucks me. Hold on, you've reused a letter there.
Oh, yeah.
The E.
Can't reuse
Boat
the
that
letter.
fucks.
Two T's.
No T's. Boat. Well, now I'm going
Just fuck boat.
Fuck boat.
Fuck boat.
Okay. And then all those letters poof away.
Nice.
And you get fuck boat. I think that's enough of that question, isn't it?
It's hard to do without like having a lesson.
Let's
in front
not do
of
a
us.
brain challenge
okay.
here.
We're all, well over 30 now. We're not fresh thinkers.
You're younger than us, right? Or you our age?
I think I'm about your age.
88.
34.
I'm 35. I'm older than
You're-
you.
You're
slightly older.
87.
Yeah.
Dear Christ.
I'm February 88
Sorry,
and I'm the
close,
oldest.
isn't it?
Wow.
He's the oldest one. He's going to be like
And
the
I'm
Jack
the
Russell that lives to his
youngest.
sort of fucking 100.
Have you got any advice for the
Grey before all
younger
of you.
generation here?
Oh, yeah.
Like, as we come up to our 35s.
Oh, just live every day to its best.
Because
Never waste
'cause
time as a bunch of gamers.
One day you're going to be
That's all
a
we
bit
do.
too old to be able to climb the rigging, get into that crow's nest.
Get the bug out.
You got to seize these opportunities. Nice,
Bugger.
I got it in.
Yeah.
Got that hypothetical.
Nice.
Slid in.
perfect.
Bug
So the
away.
opportunity that this sailor is encouraging you to take is this moment of buggery.
Yes, right
So
away.
that's why I think we should do it now.
Yeah, because you don't want to wait until you're old and retired because that's going to be so much harder. That's how you fall, and you're going to break more of
Yeah.
it.
But yeah, that's true.
There's a reason they had peg legs
Yeah.
for what they were doing with that leg.
Wow!
Who's
Oh
the
my
name?
God!
And it's not leg.
Is that where pegging came from?
I'd like to think so.
People using their peg leg. Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine the.
This is a history
Not,
podcast.
not what
Use the leg this time.
yeah, use the leg this
That's what
time.
I'm thinking. Like,
Take the leg off.
Does the peg leg E do the pumping, or do they just back up into the peg leg and they're just sat there with a
I
stool?
guess it's entirely up to
Oh, I guess it depends on
like a
how
dildo
busy you've been
suction
that
to
day.
a shower wall.
Is it alright if I just sit down and like put the peg up?
He's pegging himself. Isn't
I've got two elbows in my peg, so I can.
Oh God, like a hinge on your peg leg.
goodness?
Anyway,
Okay, is this
yeah.
the normal sort of tone? I would hate to feel like
honestly-
I'm bringing it down.
There's no
there
chance you
is
can bring this
we,
down.
look, we discussed like what was it, a sperm monster or something? The idea was that if you jizzed,
You had to fight
You
your
had to fight.
sperm.
It
You only
came
get
alive
one
into
sperm
like
in
a
your life,
muscular
and it's a
humanoid
huge
form,
sperm,
and you had to
have
fight it every
fight
time.
Okay.
We said that the population would probably deplete quite quickly, and it would make a good film.
Also, I think it was actually literally a Rick and Morty episode.
There is
could
a similar one,
Right, okay.
Isn't there? I'm not sure about the fighting, but there's.
How big is this sperm?
Like man size. Like you're fighting the
Same
Rock,
size as
but
you.
they're like a sperm.
Imagine it's you.
And every time you climax, you have to fight and beat
It's
the sperm.
really violent.
Otherwise, it's going to
aggressive,
kill
yeah.
you.
Does that thing crawl out of my pee hole?
No, it comes out and then
you
like
know,
fall.
And then
Ace
like a-
Ventura 2 style.
No. It
You'd have
comes
to
out
deal with
normally,
that.
then expands like expanding foam into like a.
Can you not just be really fucking on it?
we
And
just
before
said-
it expands,
Yeah.
just instantly bang.
Yeah, so what we
Yeah,
said
yeah,
was
yeah.
that what good options were, like, jizzing off a bridge, so they go into like a large body of water, or jizzing into one of those giant grinding machines that grinds up like
I love that.
metal, like
Quick, get the
straight into
mixer!
there.
Yeah,
Or at
yeah.
you're sorting it out straight away.
Right.
Waste disposal, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for the naive, they're jizzing, maybe into a tissue, and then oh shit, no, it's alive, and then they've
Oh
fight
god,
it, so.
yeah, like
Or in
They're like-
school.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Like, what happens if just
Down the drain, it
a
just
little
then breaks all your pipes.
little surprise dream, and then you just wake up to
Yeah,
just
I
some
think, yeah.
You're getting
giant
pummeled in the
jizz
face.
monster beating the shit out of you.
Yeah, exactly. You see, this is where it was.
Okay, right.
We
Great.
covered
About the
it. So
bar.
we
Okay.
covered similar topics. Anyway,
It certainly changes your opinion about the right to bear arms, doesn't it?
Oh, nice.
All right, this one's a weird one.
Oh,
So
okay.
get your think boxes on.
I'm ready.
What if your country was developing time technology, but accidentally travelled the entire country back in time, but still kept its modern day equipment? How would things go in 1910, for example, just 4 years before the start of World War One? Did you make these up yourself,
No, I
or
didn't
did you
make this
find
up.
these?
I think it would change things.
I think so.
Yes, I also think, wow, are you sure you want to go with such a hot take like that? As I think it might change things.
Right.
That's a good example, though, right? 1910, 4 years before World War One.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, great.
1910 with modern technology. I mean, I think the British Empire would probably still be going pretty strong at this point.
but
I
we'd
think they would be
replace it
taking the
because
piss at this point.
I assume our country would land right where our country is, right?
What?
Well, yeah, why further complicate it with also the UK is now in Mozambique?
Split.
Oh my
The
God,
UK has been
double
engulfed by
UK.
the UK.
So we just replace that country. Boom. We're in 1910.
So all the people that
Everyone's
live
got
there,
a smartphone.
right?
Just to
We
one
don't have
country.
internet. Boom.
So the rest of the world is in a different time
Yeah.
to that country. That's
Yeah,
pretty fucking
Only
crazy.
the UK has been transported back in time. All of us like this now. We're in the middle of this podcast. We're in 1910 as soon as we step outside.
Okay.
Or not, well,
We wouldn't be there.
don't
We
know.
wouldn't notice until we go to like France. Oh, France has got a bit backwards, isn't
Well,
it?
instantly, any of the viewers right now who are not in the UK, you can go fuck yourself. because
You've just been
You're
sent
now
back.
hanging out with one of those fucking stick and wheels going down your cobbled street.
Flicking an abacus.
Getting the- yeah, I know.
Like,
Dina polio.
yeah, Tiger Polio. That's what you did before Twitch. So, yeah, good luck with that.
It's a weird one to think of.
I'm trying to think of the
you could just
infrastructure element,
stay
because obviously,
where you
Some
are.
stuff will still
think
work.
about the current gas situation.
Yeah, power
Those
would be
pipelines
bad.
won't be there.
Yeah, all the big lines, the transatlantic.
Power would be bad.
Fine.
We'd be burning some serious whale oil.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Fracking.
Yeah.
All day long. Like,
But no, you're right.
We can frack.
I
It's
think we can-
1910 again.
Does every part of the country, all like the sort of like coal reserves and stuff, are they like kind of put back
I
in?
assume it
put
goes
back
down
in
to
order?
bedrock, down to the
So
core
no
of the earth.
replenishment.
And how far out do our like waters?
I don't know. That's
Yeah, do we lose our oil rigs?
I'm
Whatever
feeling like,
the,
we are literally just the island. So then,
the physical makeup of the island, I guess.
So the oil rigs are gone. So the oil's still there. So we just
So
take a
you-
new rig out.
Instantly, you're like, we need to get on that oil. So
what
they
happens
didn't
to
know
Ireland?
about that.
start constructing them again.
Ireland's back to being 1910 Ireland. Okay, right? Just
All right, that's the one caveat. It's
Ireland,
like,
yes.
Ireland's back in 1910.
They're like, hang on.
But is
Something's
Northern
wrong.
Ireland?
That's what
is
I'm
that
saying. Is there
time
a
travel
split?
as well?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just split. It's weird.
Okay, well that border is
They've got some issues there. 'Cause
Yeah.
half of that.
Would we
island-
even know until until you travel somewhere, or just open a newspaper? I guess just be like, the rest of the world has gone back in time.
That's a good point.
That's what we would.
what it
That's
would
our
feel
point
like.
of view.
Yeah,
would be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait, the
Yeah,
rest of
we
the
wouldn't
world's gone
think
back
of
in
it.
That'd be amazing. I mean, think about all of the natural destruction and change that's happened to all of the world. Like the Amazon rainforest, for example. It would be pretty cool to have all of those
deal
amazing
with
wild
the rest of the
spaces back. Ultimately,
Like heavily religious at this point.
absolutely, yeah.
1910.
But we're like the Empire in Star Wars in this situation, though.
The average person like us, right, going up against someone from the 1910s, there's a different mindset here, right?
Well, we're about half a foot taller. Go on.
Okay.
So yeah, we've got that going for us.
I have been in an HMS boat and very small conditions for
Right.
sleeping. So
Yeah.
the SS on the SS Great Britain.
Yeah.
How do they sleep in those? They must have been shorter. Anyway,
it's all children. It's all
they must
children.
have been.
It's all kids.
They must have been short. Also, they're just really cramped. And I think they accepted that they had to bend over most of the time when they were down there.
See, this is the kind of situation
Buggery.
outside
Buggery is why that happened. There we go.
mass buggery. Outside the UK, I feel like we're pretty useless without the internet, without our creature comforts. Our society as a whole is very dependent on the the systems and technology that we've grown accustomed to, all of that in the rest of the world is gone as we know it.
I was going to say, actually, I think a person from 1910 would probably be better able to deal with suffering than the average 2022er would. In terms of hard
home
hardships.
comforts.
Yeah, like hardships are much more normal.
In a bucket,
shitting in a bucket, freezing to death in winter. I don't know. What do you think would be?
Is that much different from your daily life, Tom?
That's just
Based on
what I have to deal with.
Introduction.
Just as I just rock around. So actually, I think I'd thrive then. I think that'd be great.
Finally.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I feel like you'd get a couple of years of turmoil because suddenly all of our supply chains and stuff, a lot of it is kind of international based, right?
Yeah.
Your economy is all over the place.
And the economy's going to be up.
But then are we up because
very
such a different time?
Surely, we have like modern day military technology, which I feel like is going to be pretty good.
Do you think it's enough though? Because you got the rest of the world wanting everything on this tiny island.
But
try and fight him.
We have like the nuke before anyone has even conceived of the idea that could happen, and we just turn up and we're like, boom, we're from the future. We're Space Britain,
and we're here for the whole Commonwealth.
We're here for everywhere. Everywhere is now ours. Boom, any country that does not sign up by 12 o'clock tonight,
we'll find a laser-guided bomb.
Our, space wizards are going to make you disappear. And
we could
you just
threaten
start
them with technology that doesn't
dropping
exist.
nukes on them. Yeah, then you lie. Then you lie about it. And
here's a
say more
Lamborghini.
happens.
We have a wizard on the moon.
I mean, I cannot see a situation where England wouldn't end up like the Empire in Star Wars. That's what, because they've all got English accents anyway.
That's a good point. Yeah,
but we'd be this because at that point as well, the British Empire still had much greater influence over the British ideology and the British mindset. So there's a lot of order. Which is a very classic. It was about creating order across the world, and then obviously leveraging all the profits as well. But
you really have to explain the nuke situation, though.
But you wouldn't even need to use a nuke. You could just use a laser-guided bomb and threaten to kill any leader in the world, and then it'd be like, you either let us help
you probably get ahead of the curve and start killing the leaders.
Also, you could do it in a sort of benevolent way. But there'll be evil undertones for sure. But you bring just modern technology. You just instantly modern medicine to a load of countries.
Antibiotics.
At the time, do we know? Even though we're back in time, do we assume that history is going to continue as it was? As in the world leaders and all the disasters and all the
or Terminator rules.
I don't know.
I imagine we would diverge on a timeline. I think there'd be similarities.
It would change almost automatically from our power.
My god, because we have not even considered that that diverged timeline where those 1910 English people have just appeared in modern day in this flip side, and how they're going to handle things.
All right, governor. Shoe shine. Oh no!
Baffled
the UK
going out into the rest of the world. The pound actually is kind of stabilised now. Back to 1910 level.
Good people
we
in
would
Parliament.
become a tourist hub, wouldn't we? We'd become the ultimate place
back in time.
Oh my god, it'd be like Westworld.
It'd be like Westworld.
Mary Poppins.
We're not meeting our green targets now. We're burning all this coal. It's so smoggy, and we've had 90 years of global warming. It's horrible.
Do we go back and inherit that smog?
No,
I take our air.
I feel like
but that dissipates and
because of how small the UK is in the scheme of things. I think we'd be all right. I think if anything, we would benefit massively from it. Suddenly, it's clearer. It's the atmosphere's better. So now we're quite a few years ahead to kind of sort things out. But we won't.
If we went back in time,
it won't happen.
But then we're like, look at all this oil exploitation we could do.
We're suddenly aware of it.
That network going again with all our resources, so that we could build satellites and shit, and then
we could become the lords of the oil.
Lords of the oil.
As that is the
we
most
could become
powerful.
Star Lords.
Star Lords, indeed. Yeah.
We could accelerate some things that were it took us a long time to get around to spaceships and shit.
We know what's worth focusing.
Well, we've said
world
this before as well in terms of someone in the UK might know how to build an iPhone again from scratch.
Maybe.
They would have to be in the UK at the time of the change.
Someone's going to have
so otherwise all the smart people weren't on here at the time,
and all the phones.
They'll all be there.
Museums.
Yeah.
Have the steps.
There'll be loads of stock
and
work from.
manuals.
It'd be an excellent challenge for humanity at the time, wouldn't it? It would destroy the economy, I think. It would be like an absolute reset in terms of you would need like the housing market. How would you compare like anything like because in 1910 there's far more space available for people, like how many more people are on the planet now? Like
Wait, are we not taking our buildings back?
We are, but if you go over to Europe,
we're not invading other countries and then taking their land.
We could do that
with
too.
all the technology we've got.
I just feel like you wouldn't. The housing
we'd offer them a better
market
life.
would just completely change. We'd offer them a better life, or we could take all of our good shit, like antibiotics and our incredible individual knowledge as highly educated
A crusade, if you will.
Yeah, we could just go and be the king of
technology.
the king of a section
crusade.
of France. You'd literally become like the wizard of France, wouldn't you? Like
wizard.
This would be it. You would be each leader would offer a person to be like, oh yeah, come over, wizard. You know things like magic healthcare shit. You know stuff about technology. You know the importance of certain minerals.
I'd
There are
specialize in every month. The first day of every month, I announce a new metal on the periodic table.
Wow, okay.
Holy shit.
Iron.
We could have.
We've done that one.
We could have clerics of some sort, or maybe like kind of.
You'd want to set up a pseudo religion, would you?
Let's bring back Mystic Meg, and she'll tell everyone why their countries are in the shit or going wrong, or what's going to happen, and diverting them to the overlords of technology.
You'd master technology with mystical
magic.
In January of 1910, they had their first public radio broadcast. That's how far back they are.
Was that the king?
Even talking to a nation
maybe
was not the easiest. So
we'd like to inform you that Britain has changed.
Space wizards now.
This is the first
Oh,
public
hail the
radio
British
broadcast.
Empire!
Watch out, they could kill you from anywhere.
They're not in Star Wars. Oh, it's not there yet.
Oh god, that's going to be so difficult. All those references that are going to be lost now.
Well, they're easy. We can just use made up stuff as actual factual stuff instead. It's like, this is a phaser.
Surely all of that. Just show them Star Wars and be like, "This is our history."
Yeah.
All they'll be like,
What's this moving picture? What colour?
That'd be amazing.
Oh my god!
Just baffling idiots.
Yeah.
Who's the guy? Like, when did they have like that? The first motion picture with that train.
The train, and they all ran away because they thought it was a real train.
If that was a few years before, that guy is like, "Boom! I've got this amazing technology," and then you turn up the next week. And you're like, we've made it better, so much better. And just
you can only imagine.
So Avatar, the movie.
Yeah,
he's just like
3D glasses.
I spent so long, my entire life, to get this shitty video of a train, and now you guys have made Avatar.
Yeah. You don't want to know how many VFX companies have been out of business.
Yeah, right.
This is the remaster.
Yeah, do you take him to IMAX straight away, or do you go kind of incremental?
Show him a Game Boy Color first.
Go VHS. Go. You got to go through some cycles before, or do we just go straight to the big boys?
In favor of resources, wouldn't we?
Price them out of it.
A hunk of gold, and you get to watch Avatar, and maybe some land.
Yeah.
I mean, God, it would be worth a lot.
I think
it would be the ultimate theme park.
I think it'd be a mad dash for people in the UK to also,
buy land elsewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to land grab immediately.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the fear be the country would eventually revert back to this time, and then are you setting plans hoping that this is permanent?
When the flip happens.
Yeah. So what if it flipped back? You're like, well, it could flip back. Well, if it flipped once, we don't know.
Oh, then I think after that happens, if it is infinite, after a couple of times, you just get this exponential growth, because then you now have unlimited resources.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You just need to make sure you write down, okay, this is where we get zinc in this mountain range somewhere in Africa, because we're going to need that for making stuff, and we know where aluminium is.
Yeah. We know where all this rare earth is.
It's like scum saving.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's scary about this though is we can imagine this situation, right? We can imagine it. We can apply our strengths to being versus people from 1910, and how scary and absolute that power would be. This could very much happen if a superior alien race came along to us, where they would be like, hey, we can just vaporize your entire population instantly, do what we say, we promise this for your good, you don't have a say in it. And imagine how scary that would be to suddenly not feel like the apex predator on this planet. You know?
And if
Like,
it's anything like a rival, you won't understand what they say before they do it.
no,
To get you
I
up
need to
speed.
learn your language first.
Smith is real big on aliens.
not real
yeah.
big on
Like
aliens,
huge.
but
Huge
I
on aliens.
enjoy them as a thought. I mean, I think aliens are extremely probable, and I think that one day, if we survive that long, some could turn up and it would have an extreme impact on our civilization.
Well, when you picture like just like a thought exercise,
The little
okay,
green
right?
man. The little green man.
Like, you know, if I say picture a carrot, what do you imagine?
A carrot.
Like,
Dildo.
you know, it's like a little orange
long,
guy.
with well, actually purple, because that's the colour they used to be before they were bred.
Okay, well, this is
He's
is
a
the
guy
go.
from
Oh,
1910.
wow.
so if you picture, you know, a camera in your mind,
Yeah.
you know, what does that look like?
No, I agree. I imagined an orange carrot. I was being facetious.
Okay. So, right, alien, boom. What just instantly comes to your mind? What's the first thing?
It's hard to say, isn't it?
But, you know, there was a first image that pops in.
It's going to be like the classic Roswell,
it's a
little
xenomorph.
green man, like
It's a xenomorph.
Yeah, they're like
right?
the
Mine
peace
was grey.
sign.
It's like the grey.
yeah, like a grey thing.
Yeah,
Grey
yeah.
black
hair.
eyes. Yeah.
It's probably going to be more like just
But
a
like
mist,
that is
isn't
only
it?
because
Huge
that's
wang as
the
well.
first inception of an idea. Like nowadays, I would say it's much more difficult to imagine what an alien would look like, because I mean, arguably most things are water and carbon-based, water reliant. That's what we mainly know about life so far. Is water is required. It could be that they're something else. Why anyway? Yeah. What were we gonna say? Like,
I was just kind of curious, if you're into aliens, you must have like some kind of vision.
Probably aliens is more life elsewhere. I imagine there must be life elsewhere, considering how
What, like
fucking
molecular
huge.
level?
Well,
Little bacteria.
tiny. I guess.
stuff
Well,
like
yeah. I mean, that's even
Boring,
creepier.
though, isn't it? Boring.
I think I'm
Well, it's
fascinated
not
on
boring.
an
It's just
existential level.
so hard to comprehend.
Yeah, I see that.
It's as mysterious, like at the molecular level, as it is like when you look in at space.
Yeah, but if NASA announced that we found life,
it's just
right?
it's on your.
Oh my God, this is
Yeah.
amazing. James Webb
Yeah.
Space Telescope has zoomed in so far, and we've managed to get a sample that life is just fucking bacteria.
Yeah.
Just goddamn. Oh,
That's the start.
we're
isn't it?
millions of years out from that being anything interesting.
But there are millions
Well,
of years
yeah,
of
yeah,
possibility
true, yeah.
within the universe. I think
know,
that's what
yeah.
captures it. Is like absolutely a vast majority of it could be bacteria, but we're not bacteria. And I just cannot believe that the number of like planets being discovered now, the exoplanet thing, that's like, you know, people realizing that there are actually way more rocks out there, large rocks flying about around stars. Like it's possible. It's, you know, and with so many of them, I'd almost say it's probable. And so, what is that? What does that mean for humanity? Like, how does that affect us? Because obviously
How does
I'm
it
a
affect-
human and I'm me-centric. I know I'm only here for like probably, hopefully 80 years.
5'10".
But like, I think as the most intelligent bit of life on our rock,
All right.
it's kind of almost like
Mind
a
in the
privilege. Yeah, right. Yeah. You know, as a human being,
You're talking about
it's almost a
humanity.
privilege that we can think about it. You know, think about it
yeah.
and like consider
Yeah.
it and see what that would mean for us. Because you'd hope that somewhere out there in the universe there's an equally or hopefully more intelligent version of us that's asking the same questions and making life a bit more interesting, I suppose.
Well, someone's got to be first. Like,
Yeah.
we might be
Well,
that,
yeah,
that
we might.
precursor race.
How would you ever know?
Exactly.
You would never know.
Well,
We're not
all we ever
gonna
do is discover bacteria and we're like,
Yeah.
that could be it.
Yeah.
But that's within our observable space. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not going
But-
to be present for
No.
that bacteria turning into anything unless we have
No.
technology that can speed up the evolutionary process.
Oh no, that's a risky
Like
slope to
spore.
go down. Like spore.
What do you think, Tom? Do you think there is complex life out there?
How existential do you get?
I'd say as more and more time goes by, I kind of just don't give a shit. Like, I think
Do you not get
I'm,
more
I'm
curious?
kind of fine. I'm fine with the idea of
Yeah.
it, but it's a lot of things. The way I think about it is like, will this affect my day-to-day life?
Yeah.
Nope.
That doesn't happen, nope.
Then I kind of don't really worry about stuff. You know, I do like to hypothesize the idea, but I will never kind of hard argue with someone. If someone vehemently believes, vehemently believes, you know, aliens are real or aliens aren't real, I'm not going to bother arguing with them to change their mind on something. I'll be like, yeah, sure, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that idea. If aliens turn up, great. I hope they're friendly. If they don't turn up,
It's that element which is the most unfeasible thing in my mind.
what if they
Just
they
turning up
arrive?
to this planet
I think it would be cool. Like,
and like out of all other planets and That seems the most unlikely to me.
Well, but
Where it's like, I just saw a UFO. It's like, it's probably just a military weapon that you aren't aware of.
I think that's very likely.
That's more likely.
I think,
An under wraps project.
Yeah.
But maybe
Or just a
they
homemade
are
project gone wrong.
tourist aliening coming to us because they see this like backwater place.
Yeah.
And they're like,
I think that's
fun. Isn't it fun
maybe.
to just go and have a little look?
But really interesting. I watched a really interesting documentary last night called A Trip to Infinity on Netflix, which was really interesting about like the idea of infinity and how just it's so unfathomable that things will just continue on and on and on.
There you go. Did it.
And
they continue on and
there
on
it
and
is,
on.
and that's
yeah.
it. We
Nice.
solved it. But, it's very interesting about space and how it's like it's just ever expanding. And yeah, that's a real head fuck if you want like existential crisis.
Yeah. I love
It's
them.
good. It's
want another one?
I love
those. Yeah.
It's like a hobby.
But that's really interesting about infinity, and the idea of it, and the fact that we aren't infinite, or are we?
Oh,
Is there a multiverse?
Well,
And is there infinite possibilities?
Isn't there the current running theory that not current running theory? There is a theory out there that we're all just like a shadow of the universe. We're just shadows. We're not actual manifestation. We're just like quantum ripples.
Oh, so instead of being Link, we're Shadow Link.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up.
So I need to go and hunt down the real Tom and kill him.
And bugger him.
Yeah, but you can't because he's in
On a ship.
He's in a.
Well, you would. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I think you're
Or a
allowed.
shadow.
Would you? Oh, well, this is a question we brought up before. Would you clone Bone if you had a clone version of you?
Clone bugger to keep.
So
it.
you've
Clone
made,
bone.
Yeah.
You've made a clone
if you
of
had a
yourself.
version of yourself,
and you're like, God, that's sexy.
would you bang yourself?
just for the.
Yeah, of course you would. Anyone who
No
says they
holds barred.
wouldn't,
You can both kind of explore each other in your own
like
way. It's you.
anyone who says they wouldn't is fucking lying. Like 100%.
What is your
would.
motivation for it?
What are the chances you're ever going to get that?
You're
one?
gonna kill.
Curiosity, they know exactly what you're into. They know exactly like the right moment to stick like a finger in the butt to like
So
how to work the balls.
How do you picture that working though? So they are you. So they're you.
Yeah.
At that point of time, obviously, after the moment you've met that clone, they're then a different person.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously, yeah, they'll enjoy everything. But then are you gonna prestige them afterwards, or are you gonna like live with them? And,
Like that's the only problem.
because obviously then you're like you and one other person know what you've been doing.
I know that I'm going to be thinking about prestiging them. And so therefore, I know that they're going to be thinking about
prestige
prestiging me. And so there's going to be this real weird moment of us like looking into each other's eyes,
Well, you're
turning each other off,
orgasm at the same
knowing
time.
that we're going to kill each other.
This could be the last.
This is hard as shit.
But you don't want to end the jerking off.
No, of course.
Because you want to have that as a moment.
It'd be a
right?
wasted potential.
But there's a dominant.
But
you need to
know
remember
that
who.
both are planning at what point do you kill the other before they kill you. So it's oh god, it's a real game of chicken.
How exciting though!
Oh,
It would be, and
Best
you know,
moment of your life.
maybe that turns out that
Maybe
becomes
not.
the new kink, and then
do it
we
once
don't
a
kill
week.
each other, and we just then do the other side of the prestige where we take it in turns both to live the same life and the other person gets to sit in their pants and play computer games.
Right. Okay. Oh, the old.
You'd be like a highly functioning individual.
Yeah, and actually, like it seems like you're getting a lot of stuff done. I don't know if it's going to be highly functioning individual because I don't think
No,
you
you'd
count.
seem like it, right?
But I don't think I count as even half a functioning individual right now.
I see.
But together, we might
Sure,
be like
one
a
whole.
normal dude.
a disappointing guy.
Yeah. But we can now split that and just spend more time loafing around.
Right.
That's
The dream. Wanking
think-
each other off.
And wanking each other off. We do have to factor in a lot of time of us wanking each other off.
Just in case you
performance is way down.
you weren't sure what they meant by prestiging their clone.
That's a
It
spoiler.
doesn't mean
That's a bit of a
they've,
spoiler, isn't it? Yeah. Don't.
It doesn't mean they've reached level 100 and
Call it
reset
a
their
dream,
rank. It means it's a reference to the film.
The prestige. If you know, you know. Otherwise,
You know,
don't worry.
you
about
know.
it. Don't worry too much about it.
What's,
do you think-
what's that movie that's good?
It's a great
it's
film.
good. Oh, great.
Yeah.
There's a great twist. I don't know what it is. Anyway, what was I going to say? What do you think real identical twins, would ever consider doing that?
I think that's different.
In isolation, do you think
In
that
isolation.
somebody's done an experiment here somewhere where maybe one of them has been given. I mean, imagine a situation. So there's identical twins. They're children. They've been brought up in isolation, separate.
That's a little
things.
weird.
And then one of them has been given the technology that they've been told produces a clone. The other one steps through a door after like you press some buttons. You clone
It's an
successful.
elaborate trick.
This person's like, why am I here? It's like, oh, what happened? I don't know. And their life has been like
I
they've made
see.
them completely identical. They've done very similar things. They've kind of kept
They're
them on the
fed
same
the same
path.
diet.
And then they meet each other. Do you think they would do it then?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you think they would be like, fuck,
I can't believe
created clones.
Let's get
And they've
fucked.
basically been mind fucked to the point where like crazy scientists have manipulated their lives in a way that they've almost Truman showed them to believe that maybe each of them pressed the button at the same time.
You get
step into the room,
them both to press the button,
and
the
then they
shutter
think
goes up.
and then you got to see whether they kill each other or fuck each other or what happens. Do they become friends?
Wow.
Do they try go back?
This is where Big Brother should go from here.
So Ross, what you're describing is like the wet dream of every behavioral psychologist for the last like 100 years.
Yeah.
Like identical twins are. I did an AS level in psychology before I got really bored.
Okay, so we've got an expert here.
But when I was 17, I did a year of basic study in between drinking. But yeah, like identical twins are like used in a lot of behavioral psychological studies, like big
porn
for similar reasons.
Weirdly,
Apparently porn,
which is wrong. It's odd. I think that's
what you're describing as well is like, you know, psychological torture in a lot of ways, and it would be entirely unethical. I do think basically even if they were related, and you know how you were saying like, oh, that would be different if they're related, it would feel different 100%, but I do think that is because let's say the reason that two siblings don't want to bang each other even if they're identical is because they're siblings and that feels weird. That's totally fine argument, but that is a construct. Like those rules, those social and behavioral rules are constructs. All behaviors are really social constructs, and so
you're saying it should be okay.
I'm not saying it should be okay. I'm saying that
we're saying
in circumstances,
in these scenarios they've been grown and raised separately.
What I'm saying is like it depends on the behaviours they've been taught.
They've been manipulated.
You guys have been taught to fuck yourselves. Is what I'm saying as well. You know, like this is what it also
like
says.
this is a sexy Plato's cave. Where your only reality is the one where you've been living in isolation and you've been told that you're about to make a clone of yourself.
Step into a room and you meet your clone.
You're going to believe it.
But it's actually your identical twin, separated at birth, and tested upon by scientists.
Raised in a mirror.
Was raised up. So when they become an appropriate age, they might release this one day. Which they probably won't. This will get buried, classified, and those scientists will never see.
Do you think out there somewhere there's a psychopath that's done this and then given ultra rich people the opportunity to study?
Oh god, that's dark.
So imagine like if there's like a child prison in some
like
far off country.
You're making it too real.
Yeah, exactly. And they've kept people separate, and they're going, hey, I don't know if you're interested, but we've got some unusual, unethical studies, and like these billionaire scientists are like, yeah, all right, I'll have a look. You know, all these pharma companies that don't give a fuck about real people.
Okay.
Whoa.
There's a very good chance
They
it's going to
care
happen.
about their crops.
Care about the money.
Pharma, sorry, yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty mad.
Right.
It's no as good. I liked it.
It works. It still works.
What do you think? Were you kept in a basement as a child?
Was I kept as a basement child? Yeah, I've been promised, actually. It's weird that we've been talking about this because in a few days I'm actually going to go and get a clone of myself.
Oh, congratulations.
Where's that gone?
Yeah, so, you know, kind of blue-balling myself at the moment because I want to have like a full tank ready to go.
A real moment.
You got both barrels loaded.
Yeah, both barrels are loaded, and I've been working out for the inevitable prestiging of the clone.
What if they don't want to fuck you though? But
it's me, right?
So you're then fucking yourself in a bad way.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do it, would you?
No, probably not,
good.
because I know I wouldn't enjoy that.
That's it.
But then actually,
you know you want to do it, so they're also blue balling themselves.
I'd be suspicious.
They're blue balling
I'd be like,
themselves.
why aren't you horny as well? And
This is an imperfect clone.
Me. This is imperfect. Yeah. Maybe you just kill it with fire. Like you just.
What if you just really can't decide who who's bottom and top? You're like both like kind of like you start walking in circles because you're like, hang on, I'm behind. You're like, no, I'm behind. No, and then you get into a big argument and you end up killing each other.
What if they walk out in white armor and have got a Kiwi accent, and you realise that really this is like a stormtrooper equivalent of you, and they look like Boba Fett?
They've been accused.
Okay, this has suddenly changed from me having sex with myself to me having sex with Boba Fett. What if he looks like Boba Fett? He speaks like Boba Fett. He is Boba Fett.
Now what? Would you fuck him?
Do you still want to fuck yourself? Well,
sure,
maybe. Yeah, why not? Let's give it a go.
So that's a yes.
That's a yes. That's a yes.
We did need that cleared up.
Yes, nice.
Yeah, I think I'd be down with that.
I think
Would
we
you
fully
tell people?
explored this.
Yeah. Would you tell people though, or would you be more worried about the clone thing coming out as an idea? Cause
I think you gotta like drip feed that into conversation right now. Like
you gotta hope that the clone's okay with being tucked away.
just do some hypotheticals. Like, so if you had a clone and
He looked like Boba Fett.
you know, what would you he looked like Boba Fett and acted like Boba Fett? would you fuck up?
What would you do? Is that wrong?
Yeah, I think people would be a bit confused on that. But if you had like the regular clone,
Yeah.
you know, just find out what people would think, how they'd react to that, because you don't want like kind of really startle people. And then you got to work out like, so would you fuck your clone? Would you do that? Because
See, I'm in the other camp. I don't think I would.
see, a fucking liar.
No, honestly.
What if there was
I don't really see the appeal of myself.
Not
What if
yet.
there's a situation of where their memories are your memories as well, so you've got a simultaneous connection?
Yeah.
I'd be much more interested in that.
That would be an interesting moment. Although saying that, surely like every time you move, like your hand, their hand's moving as well. So it's like
You can only
or
do
is it a
symmetrical
case of
sex.
you kind of sync every few
would be-
minutes?
No, 'cause
Oh no, I remember what you
Docking.
you just went down the road and had a
'cause
wank into a bin. I saw that.
you're not going to be psychically linked, right?
Right, but why not?
Although fuck
if?
me, that would be even
Because
better.
that would be better. Because that way you don't try and fight each other. Because you are then one. You are then hive mind
Well, if you
with
both
this.
do a right
'Cause
haymaker,
also-
you would be able to hit
Yeah.
yourself.
I guess so.
I've got a more feasible question here. Instead of a full clone of yourself,
Okay.
it could be suggested that AI could once be, in the future be built to be a replica of yourself, right? So say a computer
Yeah.
learns about you, it can make
Westworlded.
Right,
it can do an impression of you, because you know how some of these AIs, like that Google engineer recently was like, it's sentient. Oh no, it wasn't sentient apparently, but like they've been talking to this neural network learning conversation bot for so long that it was forming quite complex ideas. So eventually it may be that you could decide to have a digital version of yourself created, one that you could have conversations with, stuff like that. However, for everything you know about this AI suggests that it has the same abilities to be as conscious as you are. But you know it's going to be constrained to a digital space. You know it could be deleted or
Can't
switched
3D
off.
print it.
You could switch off, or you can't 3D print it. Would you go for that AI? Would you be interested? Say there's a vote to say, right, we will either allow people to create AIs of themselves, AI personalities, digital versions, so that they can interact with them, all that sort of stuff, and they will also have complete executive control over it. You could turn it off, delete it at any point because it's you, it's your and information. But you think that, well, we think, as far as we can tell about consciousness, there's a chance that that AI might experience the same feelings of consciousness that you do.
Yeah.
Would you decide on a moral level not to create that being for risk of, destroying it, torturing it?
What's the benefit?
You get a version of you to talk to. Imagine having all the conversations you have with someone that thinks and has the exact same memories and experiences as you.
Surely you
Imagine
come
how-
to the same
But-
conclusions. So
I don't think so. I
Like
think it'd be a
explored in
vital-
Black Mirror.
Yeah.
They see it from the other side, where it's like then they're just trapped in this like vacuous
which
digital
seems
space,
awful.
which is the horrors of that. It's like was it the Snow Globe one as well with John Hamm?
Yeah,
where he's
yeah.
then just like switched off for like a period of time. It's like that was like have 10 years of experience of his life, but like 10 minutes or whatever on.
And would you do that? Would you do that to a
It's
digital
like,
version of yourself?
Obviously you can't. It's hard to empathize with
No.
a what you would consider an NPC or something that you don't really fully
But this is a copy
assume
of
is
you.
learning and new and renewing information, cares about those things. So you'd have to hope that that creation didn't give a shit. But
You don't know if it will or not.
in the form that I can imagine it, as in like the Black Mirror style, like you'd rather not. Like the one with the game as well, with the Star Trek series, where they're in that game.
Oh yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
we're just in here now. No one's playing right now. We're just downtime.
There was a movie. Was it a movie? Maybe it was a Black Mirror.
It was Her as well. Someone mentioned, which
Oh yeah,
was
that
like where he talks to
idea.
like this AI, but he's only ever talking to her, and like they're not real. They're just they're talking to so many different people. And he's like, oh, he suddenly gets all a bit weird about it. It's like, oh, you've been talking to other people. It's like, yeah, yes, I'm a robot. I'm Scarlett Johansson. You've seen any Marvel films? I'm in those.
Wow.
Oh shit! No way.
So I don't think I would. You don't sound like you would.
No,
You
I
wouldn't.
think that'd be terrible.
Like the emotional
I
guilt.
don't think that would be my first. I think.
But you would clone a version of yourself just to fuck.
No, because that's a person. No, it isn't just a fuck. That's just one of the perks.
I think that
It's followed by
you've
a
got to
fight
worry
to
about.
death.
Yeah.
This is the thing. The fight to the death thing is a real fear because you've then got direct competition with you and your life. If they decide that or wherever they're being kept isn't satisfactory, they could just replace you.
What's that Paul Rudd TV show where he has a
I know what you mean.
They
Where
explore a lot of these ideas,
they make the better version of him,
but he survives,
and he survives.
and then so he sees himself like the better version of himself.
Yeah, that's just
Shit.
It's all a lie. He actually does get cloned
Have I
rather
seen
than
this?
being improved.
Yeah, you have seen it. You must have seen it. It was quite big for a
Paul
while.
Rudd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Netflix
Fuck.
show.
Yeah, that's all right. I didn't love
Living
it.
with
I like the
Myself, is that what
premise.
it's
Living with Myself.
Yes,
That was it.
I think I have seen that
okay.
one. Yes. Was it? It wasn't continued then. I guess
I don't know.
that's quite old now, in the scheme of things. But yeah, that was. Yeah, Paul Rudd.
That was like a 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's not Ant-Man.
It's not
did,
Ant-Man.
Did you see
not Ant-Man.
the animated show Invincible?
The really hyper-violent one.
The hyper-violent superhero
I didn't.
superhero show. Because there's an idea a little bit like the idea of making this AI where there's this guy. He's super smart, but he's kind of like got like this sort of like degenerative problem. So he's like a sort of little fetus kind of creature in a tank, and he sort of clones himself. He gets like this body, he builds it from scratch, and then clones his consciousness. And there's this really, really good scene where the consciousness like wakes up and it's all of his memories, every experience, and they like look at each other. Like this one who's like made this like super body, it's got all these superpowers, is like buff and young and just good to go. And then there's like the little malformed tank boy, and as they look at each other, the super body is just like, I am so sorry, like I'm the consciousness that wakes up in this good body, because it's still, up until that point, it was the fish
Could
tank
end up
boy.
in either, yeah.
And that idea of pressing that button to make the AI. Imagine if you just suddenly wake up and you're now in a computer, because that is that complete copy of your personality. And just
feel that.
imagine like, wait, I just pressed the button, but now I'm the computer guy. Just picture how hellish that
Yeah,
in theory
absolutely.
could be.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
If there was the hypothetical of like, there was a huge online digital world where suddenly you can live for
Oh, the metaverse.
infinity, the metaverse.
Yeah.
I get to hang out with Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark, is anyone here? Hey, Mark. Hey.
Just me and him
No one's
hang
here.
together.
Yeah.
But if there was, because there's like some theories that kind of thing could exist in the future.
Yeah.
I think it probably is possible that people could make imprints of themselves, and
What's the thing? Because if you make because again, I think this is what you were saying about if you could store your memory in a computer for future generations, whatever. That's not you though, still, because you're not living in that experience.
Yeah,
unless
it's
you
not.
could somehow synchronize those two things, and then, but the moment you're gone, that's
Yeah.
it. So then you've just got something which serves, I guess, for other people to know who you are,
Yeah.
which is quite good. Like, if anything, that's the future of Tombstones. You just sit there.
Nice. Oh god,
That's me. I'm a digital version. I'm a digital
Scan my
manifestation.
QR. Scan my QR.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Hi, I'm a digital manifestation of the person in that ground just in front of you. So, oh, right, this is really surreal.
If you want a coupon.
wow.
It would change a grief, I think, a little bit. It's just like you'd never just change to them. It's like, oh, God, I didn't know that about you. That's weird.
Yeah. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
That would be quite an interesting way to use that.
Now.
But it'd be no different, really,
yeah.
than
You
reading
can say
a
anything.
book about that person. But it'd be a
guess
much
who writes books about-
contextually more
On average.
rich
But
person.
equally as fallible, right? Because we all know humans are fallible.
Yeah.
Our memories are fallible. Can the AI also be, if it's so...
I guess, but if you
Amazing,
manage to
well
print
copied.
yourself,
Yeah,
like at a certain point in time, say you did it right now, and then in 20 years you die, whatever, you've got a catalogue of your entire memory up to that point, and that's
you can
for
only-
people who didn't ask you the certain questions, they didn't know these certain things about you.
But we're not leafing through like an encyclopedia of your history.
Right.
You're also still having to talk to the AI manifestation of you that can't recall it as well because the neurons are the same.
Yeah, it just has
That
your
makes sense.
memories and
Yeah.
It's like, I think I died in whatever and all that kind of stuff.
That would be
You almost
that would
wish
be
somebody had been
interesting.
filming you for 10 years.
Yeah, almost.
no.
And then
We've got a catalogue.
Yeah.
Of some stuff. Well, the Coke Fiend.
God,
We've got that one.
Like getting wrecked in a Scottish bathroom and singing Scotland the Brave at the top of our voices at 2 a.m. In our defence, we thought the whole hotel was booked out for that event, right?
Yeah,
And we were
that
like,
was offensive.
Wasn't it?
Everyone
It
was
random
pissed.
Tuesday, wasn't it?
and then just literally next door, bold, angry man, as he should be.
work
I was
tomorrow.
angry too.
Got work at 6 a.m.
I've got work. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Like,
God, and he'd splashed out, because that was quite a nice hotel. And we just ruined it.
Really
We were the only
loud,
ones who
drunk
dressed up
English
to go to
Smith was
that
still in
cast.
the
I was dressed as a woman.
Yeah. You would go out
with your tankards, banging them.
And the entire time we were just getting like daggers from the reporters and stuff. We were just like, I write for magazines and you're...
Oh god, I remember that conversation.
Yeah, they were really
guy-
like just shirty about like YouTubers and stuff at the time. It was like 2014, right? So
I've got a real job as a journalist.
I just play the game and tell you I think it's shit. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So, oh, okay.
Same.
That's funny.
The same,
funny
but I
time.
write it down and think about the words.
Well, I think we've come full circle there.
Nice.
Yeah. way.
Certainly, yeah.
Not as much buggering as I'd like. So maybe
well, there's
Yeah,
quite
we
a lot of
really-
buggery.
we
We
really
discussed fucking ourselves.
Front-ended it, and then
clone boning at the end. Which
Clone
Clone buggery was mentioned throughout. It's just subtle.
Okay, yeah.
It was there. It was present.
Something for next time. Just
Anyway, are you thinking
there.
about bringing back Shadow of Israphel? Any point for Lewis? Did
fuck my balls. No, not at all.
No.
Like that is not.
That's not-
Well, I'm not the person to talk.
I'm trying to think of the questions that people might want to ask, because obviously you were quite involved. You wrote stuff and you were
I
like
did some
set
Israphel.
stuff up. But like,
It was real.
was there
It was real.
I haven't watched almost any of that personally.
What?
I know, shock horror. But like, did you end it just because you couldn't think of where it was going to go, or did you just get too big and they were just like, fuck, we can't really do, like, because we've had ideas before where we just thought, fuck it, Origins.
It kind of like sort of ran out of steam a bit, like, because we were doing it less and less frequently and doing just other stuff, and it was just taking so long to set it up.
Yeah. So I remember at the time you were sharing an office with Lewis.
Yeah,
You were
me
just
and
like
him
in
shared
each
an
other's
office.
like.
Just,
Yeah.
That was very intimate. We sat very close to each other. But yeah, no, it just like, you know, more and more time spent between each episode, and we just started working on other projects, and I think, you know, people were really into it, and you must have had that sort of feeling of like when something's doing well and you're like, oh, I don't want to ruin it now, and it gets harder to come back to, and the more you put it off, then the less likely you are to come back to do it.
Like stunt lads, like you just want to do something better, and then you realize how much more work and how much time that takes away from other projects. And then you realize that it's been a month, and you're like, oh shit, probably should have done something.
And you realize also,
and then when you get too far, is it worth going back?
Yeah, because then people are they're gonna be disappointed one way or the other, and it's just turns out just be too much of a ball ache. But yeah, we had like, I'd say like easily like 10, 20 episodes kind of like planned out, that we knew where it was going and had like the sets built for probably half a dozen episodes, but just was getting around to actually recording it, and it was just a bit.
How do you deal with the fact that in Minecraft at that time it was just like a little circular shadow? So like the whole thing was based on
just a
really shitty
little, you know,
what's the point?
We just took it just one day at a time.
Thinking like in the future there'll be shades with like really good shadows.
It's true. We're planning for the future. You know, when we can get some of the ray shading coming in, and then that's when we'll bring it back.
Shadow of Israphel.
Yes, we got it.
That was
the technology's now ready.
It's a great.
But one day you can write a nice little book just about the process with Lewis and Lewis's experience. The legacy. That'd be good. Be a good.
Yeah, that's what.
Be better than Periods, right? Documentary. People love that shit.
Oh yeah, I can get you guys in as like talking heads.
The assholes who took that
silhouettes.
giant lunchroom.
He threw up in my suitcase.
I walked with Tom and he vomited in my suitcase.
I don't want to identify myself this time.
I don't want to identify myself.
But I'm Alex Smith.
I'm Alex Smith. I'm A. Smith. No, not that. Alex S.
I mean, you can see those videos. Those the Gamescom ones from 2014.
Yeah,
when you sprained your back, put a shirt on.
And then sat on a coach for 20 hours.
Oh God!
I fucked my back.
I fucked my back putting a shirt on. He's like, don't laugh. It's not funny.
It really hurt.
It was just obviously because the scenario
so
putting a shirt on
painful.
sounds quite.
Trott like slipped a disc and then sat on a coach for 20 hours.
And then we had to.
I remember stopping at the garage and like, finally, I can get some paracetamol. In Germany, they don't sell it.
It was like it had to be pharmacy. Yeah, it had to be a proper pharmacy.
Okay, another 5 hours to go.
And then we went to a fucking theme park.
Yeah. Oh wow! Just like
Let's all sort it out.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
But I mean, at least we got to inhale COD Game of Farts for
Oh my god. That was one of the worst experiences of my life, that bus.
Yeah, that bus wasn't, and they said it was gonna be like high tech, it was
a
game
luxury
machines,
bus.
game machines, and it was just a coach.
It was just a coach.
The average coach.
Also, one of the terrible decisions they made, just to paint the picture. So we're going to be on this coach for maybe like 18 to 20 hours.
Yeah.
We were promised this luxury coach. It was not. It was just a coach. And they filled every single seat. And then they were like, oh, everyone, because everyone's got loads of luggage, that's everywhere is rammed. Yeah. They're like, oh, we've got a present for all of you. It's a big Call of Duty backpack. So now, every single person on this coach, not only is it fucking cramped, they just hand you a giant backpack that you now just have on your lap.
Military-sized backpack.
And then they had like the big headphone box and stuff like that.
It was
there's some cool stuff in there, but it was just so bulky. So not only is it fucking packed, but now you have this giant thing. Oh god.
Yeah. That's a good.
There was a lot of. Yeah.
I like that bag.
We flew back, didn't we? Did we all fly back? I think we did.
Oh wait, did we?
Because we didn't ride it back.
No, I didn't think so. I think
we agreed initially because that's a long ride, even in a luxury coach. I don't want to do it back.
Yeah.
So I can't remember now.
No, we didn't take it back. I remember that because we were like,
yeah, we did not.
Thank God we're flying back. Because it was like
There's probably a video about it somewhere. I can't remember if we did.
Did you take it back?
I can't remember.
I don't think we travelled back together. I think maybe you, because it was Gamescom, so there were other Yogs there.
Yeah,
so you probably did something
there. I did take the coach back.
You did take the coach back?
I think I did.
Dude. Really?
Also, if you ever wondered if I'm an idiot or not, 2 years later,
did it again?
Rich somehow managed to convince me to go on the coach again. Even though it was one of the worst things ever. And he was like, it's going to be a luxury coach. Look, he sent me a picture. I was like, oh, okay, that actually looks pretty good.
Did it have beds?
No, it was the same fucking coach. It was just like,
it was the same thing.
How did I
The Gamescom?
Yeah.
How did you get con twice?
I don't know. Look, the first time just sounded like a fun opportunity. The second time, I'm a fucking idiot. And I don't know.
We got a plane. You must have done. Did you not come with us?
He wasn't with us.
Shit.
Actually, wait. I think I did.
Yeah, you filmed it.
I think I'm filming you.
So on a video called Jolly Todgers. I don't know why.
Oh, I remember this.
2014. But yeah, we did get a flight back. Nice. There you go. It's all documented. Our memories are stored.
Take the coach again.
I did take the coach again.
And back, or did you fly back? Do you think you probably got it back?
I think I flew back the second time again because I was just like, "Fuck me!"
Another coach.
Just never again.
Well, thank you, Tom.
Yes.
For divulging.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
If anyone wants to watch your stuff, where should they go?
Oh, just fucking wherever.
Type in AngoryTom.
Yeah.
Not
Angry, not angry.
No.
Do we want to ask why it's Angory? Is it just sounded good, or is there a history behind that?
So when I was very young, it's a quick story.
Okay, yeah.
Well, relatively.
Sure, yeah.
It's about 15 minutes.
Okay, all right.
When I was very young, made a comic book myself, and there was a character called Angory in it.
Okay.
And his catchphrase. I made this with a friend. I don't want to steal all the credit. With my friend James.
So you won't name him.
You're not like
James.
Stanley.
No, not at all. I definitely give credit out where it's due. And there was a character called Angor, whose catchphrase was "Angor is getting Angory."
Okay.
Just because we thought that was a funny thing to say.
Sure.
And then years later, when I was in uni, we were playing. We used to play a lot of StarCraft, and we had a friend who was infamously a very angry person. Oh. And he was the best at StarCraft, but if you could wind him up, he would definitely lose.
Okay, nice.
And so he started calling him Angor, and just say Angor is getting Angory, just because it just really wound him up.
That's a real in-joke there.
And then changed my Steam name to Angor, because that really upset him.
Okay, yeah.
And then I never changed it back, and now that's my branding.
Nice. So there you go.
Just used to taunt my friends.
Nice story.
Just this great branding.
It started off good. It was like, no, it's my own creative IP.
Yeah,
I worked on a comic.
It was actually done to piss someone off.
To wind up my mate.
And they just did it just to annoy a friend of mine. And so I could win at StarCraft.
And now you make money off the name, essentially.
Now,
so
kind of do a thing.
It's like a double fuck you to that guy. I bet he's so bad at StarCraft now.
Oh god, he hates it just knowing that this is going on right now. But yeah, so you can find me on YouTube. Yeah. Sometimes on Twitch.
Yeah. On Yog streams and stuff.
Yog streams, just all over the place.
It's just everywhere.
Thanks, man.
I actually do like a lot of your stuff.
Wow.
God, wow.
back in the day, I was watching you and Simon doing the horror games, the Cthulhu stuff.
Oh my god,
Really good.
that was great.
So more on that, please.
Go back. Can you go back and do old content just for one person who's requested it?
Yeah, if we can teleport all of the UK back like 4 years,
Yeah, that's
then
it, yeah.
me and Simon will make
We'll
some
work on
content
it.
like that.
I mean, that's an interesting. If we went back just before we started doing YouTube,
I'll buy some Bitcoin, mate.
buy some
Oh,
Bitcoin.
yeah.
Do what
Yeah, fuck
Duncan
YouTube
did,
off
and
and
don't
just buy
lose the hard
Bitcoin.
drives.
Yeah.
God.
Make sure you sell it. Anyway,
Yeah, sell when it's
Ow.
high. We know when it's really high.
Yeah.
thank you for listening or for watching. You can find us on YouTube. Thanks to our Patreons for being Patreon-y
Indeed,
and
that's
deciding on the
patreon.com
hypotheticals.
/hatfilms.
Indeed. And also, if you'd like to send us an email, you can.
Yeah.
To hatchat@hat-films.com. Send in a fingal. Much like our fingal creator, who was, I
written on here?
believe,
It
Hannah
is- Yes, it is Hannah Kund, like Kund,
Kund. Yeah, they made it very clear
Kund.
how it's pronounced.
rather than like pound, cound,
Count.
or hound.
Kund.
Kund.
So thank you very much, Hannah.
Thank you.
If you want to be like her, as cool as them,
Fingerless.
then please send us an email. We'll be very much appreciative of that. Send us a fingal. And until then, have a great week. Thanks, Tom.
Good.
Cheers, Tom.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.